Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to another live show on the channel. And I'm trying to fill myself with energy. I'm trying to be energetic. I'm trying to be alive for this show because I won't lie, I'm absolutely shattered right now. And also, I absolutely am up to it with Manchester United. Nothing is positive at the moment, so I'm going to try and make this show as positive as possible. Positive vibes, guys. But let's get into the show. By the way, guys, we've got a lot to talk about. Well, obviously, this is my first live show since the Champions League defeat, so I will be discussing the Champions League defeat with you guys. That referee! I'm still not over you. We're also going to be talking about Marcus Rashford, Eric Ten Hag, Thomas Tuchel, Manchester United players getting a break, Gareth Southgate. Got some words with you in that shocking England lineup. I tell you that now. We've got lots of stuff to talk about, so make sure you smash a like, make sure you subscribe and all of that. But I do quickly want to talk about Mr. Marcus Rashford at the beginning of this video. Then we'll discuss Southgate, then we'll discuss some transfer news, then we'll discuss the Glazers possibly not backing whoever the next manager is. Ten Hag this, Poch this, it don't matter because they might not even be bloody backed. And you know what? I'm not even surprised. I'm not even surprised. We will get into that story as well. And also, some of the PR spin stories coming out. Because I tell you what, some of the stories coming out right now today, is classic PR spin United. Have you ever noticed? As soon as United lose a match, all these positive stories come out. But it's a PR spin because the story coming out is saying, oh, we're going for Poch. Yeah, Poch is our first choice. Yeah. If Poch is our first choice, why aren't we actively making moves for him if we've identified him as our first choice? Why aren't we just saying he's our first choice? Oh, wait, I know. It's Manchester United and another bloody PR spin, isn't it, guys? But let's address Mr. Marcus Rashford. Also, quickly, Paul Pogba yesterday he announced that he was burgled on the night of the Atletico Madrid game. That is absolutely horrid. What's happened to Paul Pogba must be absolutely horrifying for him and his family. That's my worst nightmare to go through that. And I have to say, people are just scum in this world, aren't they? There's just some scummy people in this world. I mean, Lindelof was robbed, Pogba was robbed. I mean, Di Maria was robbed. Who cares about him? But no, seriously, people robbing footballers' houses. If you're sitting here, and not that I think anyone watching is a robber, I mean, there might be, it'd be interesting. But if you are sitting here thinking, I'm going to rob a footballer's house, please don't. Like, they are human beings. I know they've got a lot of money, but it's just wrong. It's just absolutely wrong. And what happened with Paul Pogba? I feel really, really sorry for him and his family as well. And AF says that Rashford's overrated. Munzi says, big up Alice, great show as always. Big up Munzi and all of that. So yeah, everybody get in the chat. Make sure you smash a like if you haven't hit that like button already. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Share this video and all of that. But yesterday, a video of Marcus Rashford was released where Marcus Rashford was getting very, very frustrated with Manchester United fans. Marcus Rashford lashed out at some Manchester United fans. I think he said something like, come here and say that to my face, after he was getting heckled and abused after Manchester United fans. Now, what is my thoughts on that Marcus Rashford video? Honestly, he's only human. I could not give a shit about that Marcus Rashford video. Do you know what? I don't blame Marcus Rashford. Honestly, I'd probably have done the same. But you are a footballer for Manchester United, and it is in your job to remain control. Footballers do deserve to be criticised, and you've got to just accept that criticism and move on with it. However, the reason I give Marcus Rashford a bit of benefit of the doubt for lashing out is because the abuse I've seen towards Marcus Rashford online is incredible. Like, incredible in a bad way. Marcus Rashford is the second most abused athlete in the world. Like, that says a lot. This guy has only done good things out of football, but he's the second most abused athlete in the world because he missed a penalty and he's had a few bad seasons at Manchester United. Rashford deserves criticism, but I've generally, and I'm not lying, I saw a tweet the other day where someone said they wish it was Rashford and not Greenwood. Like, what kind of sicko says something like that? Seriously, I've seen some horrible tweets about Rashford. We can criticise his performance, we can say he's not good enough, but some of the things I've seen people tweet towards Marcus Rashford is absolutely disgusting. I'm going to be honest with you guys. And I have a bit of sympathy with Rashford for him snapping. I think his performances have been bad, but I think he's just put an absolute disaster class versus Atletico Madrid. I think nothing's going right for him. He's got fans heckling him as he leaves the stadium. He's had fans on his back since the Euros. I do have sympathy with Marcus Rashford, but he hasn't been good enough. He deserves to be dropped, and he shouldn't be acting like that. I will say that regarding Rashford, but some of the abuse he gets, it's very, very uncalled for. You can criticise him, you can say you're not good enough, but people wishing him dead. I mean, people are wishing nasty things on Marcus Rashford, and I think, we do have a very, very toxic fan base. Do I like Harry Maguire? I don't. I don't like Harry Maguire, but do I wish Harry Maguire went to prison? No. Of course I don't. Do I wish bad things to Maguire? No. I just wish he got fucking dropped. And with Marcus Rashford, I want him to become good. And I will say this about Marcus Rashford, and people are bound to disagree with me. I still, and I don't know how you guys feel, some people say that Marcus Rashford is finished, some people say that Marcus Rashford is not finished. I don't know how you guys feel. I personally don't believe Marcus Rashford is finished. I think, he's 24 years of age. He's still got a good 10 years of his career left. I think 2 years ago, at 22 years of age, Marcus Rashford was one of the best wingers out there, and he's just had a complete drop in form as of late. But I generally just think he's having a drop of form, and he will be back. And all that. His play is fair play, but leave the man alone. Leave the man's character alone, says Declan. Absolutely messed up reading it out. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Criticise what they do on the pitch, but don't criticise what they do off the pitch. I always say about footballers, okay, you can criticise them off the pitch, but you can't abuse them. I don't care what a footballer's hair looks like. I don't care what a footballer does outside of football. I don't care if a footballer goes clubbing. I don't care if the footballer is religious. I don't care if the footballer is black. I don't care if the footballer is white. All I care about is if when the footballer is on the pitch, they give it their all, okay, and they play well, and they put in a good performance, and they want to be it. That's all I care about. I care about how they play on the pitch. I don't care about what Rashford does out of Man United. I don't care. I care that Rashford is bad on the pitch. I care that Rashford is massively underperforming at the moment, and I want to see Marcus Rashford do better. I believe Marcus Rashford could do better, and I want to see him get back to his best. But I just think there are some fans out there that, aren't particularly nice and all of that. Alice, would you take Tuchel or Ten Hag? That is a very difficult question, guys. I'm going to ask you this, guys. Tuchel or Ten Hag? Let me know down below. Because for me, Tuchel is Premier League proven. He's won a Champions League. He's done a good job with Chelsea. But Tuchel, and the downside, he plays 5 at the back. And Ten Hag is Ten Hag, and he's beautiful, and he's new, and he's different, and you don't know what he can bring. And for me, it would be Ten Hag. But what I will say about the next manager is, it does not matter who the next manager is. They are going to be set up to fail unless the Glazers change their ways. It does not matter if it's Ten Hag. It does not matter if it's Poch. It does not matter if it's Tuchel. It doesn't even matter if it was Pep bloody Guardiola. If the Glazers continue to throw every manager under the bus, not back any manager, not give them any support, every manager that joins Manchester United is destined to fail. Maybe 1 or 2 years and 1 trophy or 2 trophies max. But no one is going to be the recreation of Sir Alex Ferguson until the Glazers back them week in, week out, buying and selling who they want and actually allowing football people to work closely with them. And this is why I want Erik Ten Hag at Manchester United so badly, guys. There's a reason I'm so desperate for Erik Ten Hag at Manchester United, and that is purely because Erik Ten Hag is really interested in the idea of working with Ralf Rangnick and a sporting director at Manchester United. If Erik Ten Hag took that Manchester United job, he'd want Rangnick with him, sitting next to him. He'd want the sporting director with him, sitting next to her, like he did at Ajax. Ten Hag wants to come to United and recreate the Ajax structure at Man United. Ralf Rangnick wants to recreate the Ajax structure at Manchester United when he gets the consultancy role. And that Ajax structure is the manager, the sporting director, and the consultancy man all working together very closely, watching all the games together and coming up with the same ideas, and then being given full reign of recruitment from the people higher up, allowed to buy and sell who they want. That is the Ajax way. And that is what that is what Ten Hag wants to recreate at Manchester United. And the only way we're going to move forward as a club is if the Glazers go, you know what, we're going to let you do what you want. And they won't. And the sad thing is they probably won't. But the Glazers go, yes, Ralf, you're in the consultancy role. So, Ralf, you and Ten Hag make the decisions, not Arnold. We might move forward. But I'm very, very worried that Richard Arnold will be the one making decisions, not Ralph Rangnick, not Ten Hag, Richard Arnold. And that is when we go back to square one. Because if it doesn't matter who the manager is, if we're allowing Richard Arnold and the board to make the footballing decisions, we're never going to move forward, because it's to do with the footballing manager, it's to do with the sporting director, and it's to do with who's in the consultancy role. And this is why Erik Ten Hag, Overmars, and Van der Sar got on so well, because they work so closely together. And we could build that with Erik Ten Hag, Rangnick, and someone else. You know, Ten Hag was so successful at Ajax partly because of the structure, partly because of the system around him. And as Manchester United, we want to recreate Ten Hag's success at Ajax at Manchester United. He's got the credentials, he's good with working with young players, but to recreate that, we need to recreate an Ajax system. Bring in Van der Sar, bring in Rangnick, bring in Ten Hag. Van der Sar, Rangnick, Ten Hag, and go, you know what? We're going to give you 5 transfer windows. Buy and sell who the fuck you want on those 5 transfer windows. And I'm going to give you time to see if we're going to be where we want to be. Because it's going to take 2 or 3 transfer windows. It's going to take some new coaches. It's going to take some time for the squad to adapt. But we can make it happen if the board allow us to spend some money, do what we want. The big problem at Manchester United is the board will go, no, you can't sell Harry Maguire. He cost 80 mil. We won't allow him to be sold. Then Ten Hag will not use Harry Maguire. If we get Ten Hag, he will not be starting Harry Maguire, because he's reliant on pace, because he plays a high line, resulting in Harry Maguire being dropped, Harry Maguire being upset, and Harry Maguire causing dressing room issues because Ten Hag wasn't allowed to sell him, but Ten Hag is not using him. This is why there are so many dressing room issues at Manchester United. Now, this is not the primary reason. This is not the primary reason behind dressing room issues at Manchester United. But have you ever wondered why is there so many dressing room issues at Manchester United? Have you ever wondered why we're League FC, Social Media FC, Whinge FC, Blame Each Other FC? I mean, the day after we lost to Atletico Madrid, oh, it's Bruno's fault. It's Bruno's fault. Shut the F up, honestly, with these leaks. Shut the F up. As well, Matt says Harry out. They don't want to sell at a loss, says First Last, and that is why we won't sell Maguire, because we don't want to sell at a loss. We don't want to lose face. And Steve says that he knows Ten Hag got knocked out the UCL yesterday, but done good. Exactly, and he got knocked out of Ajax, whereas we got knocked out of Manchester United. And I think Ten Hag's a brilliant manager. And I'm going back to my point. If the board make us keep players that the manager doesn't want to play, that player is going to be unhappy, because they're not going to be played, but they're not allowed to leave, which causes dressing room issues, which causes a negative effect on the squad. Bish, bash, bosh. If Ten Hag goes, I don't want Harry Maguire, and we don't let him sell Harry Maguire, we've only got ourselves to blame, because then you have an unhappy Harry Maguire who's a big influence in the dressing room, who's a big ego, who might not be playing next season, but because he's not playing, he's angry, he wants out. It reflects negatively on the squad. It reflects negatively on the squad morale. Because have you noticed who didn't want to be at Arsenal? Aubameyang. Aubameyang did not want to be at Arsenal. And all of a sudden, guys, yeah, Aubameyang leaves Arsenal. They strip him of captaincy. He leaves Arsenal, and all of a sudden, Arsenal look like a team with 11 players that want to be there, 11 players that are happy there. Coincident? I think not. And I generally think, no, I'm not saying Harry Maguire causes problems, but Harry Maguire deserves to be dropped. Harry Maguire is not a captain. He's not a leader. And even when he was in good form, I've never thought Harry Maguire was a captain or a leader, and I stand by that. But Arsenal got rid of their captain, sold their captain, dropped their captain, and got better for it. And all of these negative problems in the Arsenal dressing room seem to get positive once they got rid of a few figureheads. And I think that's what Manchester United need to do. It doesn't matter if we're going to make a loss on Maguire. It doesn't matter if you're obsessed with this British player and they're not good enough. Sell the players that the manager doesn't want. Sell the players that don't want to be here, and start fresh. Because we want to, and it sounds horrible that I'm saying this, but we want almost what Arsenal have right now. Players that are young, up and coming, want to be here, happy, and will give it their all. Because the thing that we're struggling with at Manchester United, the thing that we're really struggling with at Manchester United is a lot of our players aren't trying. A lot of our players aren't giving it their all for Manchester United. There's a lot of players where I think you could be doing a lot more than you're doing. You're not trying. And that's what really kills me as a United fan. Seeing that Manchester derby game and players walk around, I thought, how can you not try? How can you put on a Manchester United shirt and not even try it? Absolutely, broke my heart. And getting knocked out the Champions League, I'm not too angry with the players because I do think they tried. But mad, someone said buy a Chelsea defender. I would buy Reece James and Rudiger if we could. Declan says Ten Hag, he's beautiful footballers, such a limited budget. But the Glazers, if we get Champions League, it doesn't. matter. This is the thing for me, and if you agree with what I'm about to say, smash a like. I tweeted this the other day. What Manchester United need to do, and I will say this till the day. I'll say this every day for the next 2 weeks. What Manchester United need to do is appoint Ten Hag. First thing we need to do is appoint Ten Hag. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. United can get Ten Hag done in the next 2-3 weeks if they wanted to. We could get Ten Hag confirmed and done by the end of the international break if we wanted to. The problem is it's Manchester United. It's possible to get Ten Hag done, but it's Manchester United. We make the impossible impossible. That's what we do. But first thing we need to do is get Ten Hag done. The second thing we need to do is not only get Ten Hag done, but let Ten Hag bring his coaches in. The third thing we need to do is let Ten Hag, Rangnick, and maybe Van der Sar and some of Ten Hag's coaches have free range of who we buy and sell. The fourth thing we need to do is give Ten Hag the money to spend, but also allow him to sell the players he's not going to use and do a complete clear out of the Manchester United squad. Then we continue to back Ten Hag for 3-4 seasons, giving him who he wants, buying the players he wants, making sure we spend money when we've got money, making sure we invest in January if it's not quite gone off in the summer, making sure if there's a player he doesn't want, we can sell them even though we'll make a loss. And if we continue to back Ten Hag, if we give Ten Hag full reins, if we let Ten Hag do what he wants, spend the money where he wants, then maybe we'll be back to where we want to be. And for me, I've always said that is what Manchester United need to do to get back to where we want to be. And the thing is, we can get Ten Hag in the next couple of weeks. People don't keep forgetting this. Ten Hag is available right now for Manchester United. He is leaving Ajax. That is confirmed. United can get Ten Hag. And actually, if we really put our mind to it, United could get Ten Hag done probably in the next week. And that sounds crazy because it's Manchester United, so it's never going to happen that it's in the next week. But if we really wanted to, we could get Ten Hag done by the end of the January transfer window, honestly. Players need to play with hunger all the time. If they don't win, at least keep trying. You're absolutely right there, Steve. The big problem at Manchester United is not just the manager, not just the owners, but it is also the players. For me, you know, the owners are the biggest problem at Manchester United. I'm going to get into what Gary Neville's had to say in a moment. The owners are by far the biggest problem at Manchester United. But we've also got to sort out the player attitude. We've also got to improve the coaches. We've also got to improve the management. I mean, I don't think Ralf Rangnick is to blame at Manchester United. We see Paul Scholes coming out blaming Ralf Rangnick, saying this wouldn't have happened if it were, you know, saying Ralf Rangnick's at fault for the loss. Personally, myself, I disagree. I don't personally believe that Ralf Rangnick is at fault for the loss. I don't know how you guys feel on it. I have no criticisms of Ralf Rangnick. I actually really like Ralf Rangnick. I think Ralf Rangnick has improved Manchester United, if I'm being honest. I think we were unlucky to get knocked out of the UCL, and myself, I'm not too bothered about Ralf Rangnick. But what I do want to read out is a tweet that Gary Neville made. And look, Gary Neville, he sometimes I agree with him and I'm thinking, fucking hell, yes, Gary. And other times I go, no, Gary. Gary, how are you criticising Ralph but never criticising Ollie? But what Gary Neville has come out and said, and I do agree with what Gary Neville's just come out and said, is Gary Neville says the owners need to sell the club. He said they let the ground disintegrate. They've let the training ground disintegrate. We are now a second-class club in our country. This was the greatest club in the world, not just England. And Gary Neville's hit the nail on the head. If anyone is to blame for the situation going on at Manchester United right now, it is the owners for letting us hit rock bottom, letting us sink to the bottom. Our owners are ruining this club. And if you want these owners out, make sure you smash a like on the video because I absolutely want these owners gone. I think they're ruining our club and I'm just fed up with them. Apparently Rudiger can go for free. That is the case. Rudiger will be available for free, but why would he come from Manchester United? Pedri says that Ten Hag won't want to come to this mess. Let's be honest. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I love United. I support United. You know that. But if I was Eric Ten Hag, why would I want to go to Man United? I was talking about this today. I said, you know what? If I was a good manager up and coming and there was a Man United job available, I'd look at Man United and go, I'm not taking that. And I love Manchester United. My dream job would be to manage Manchester United if I had the credentials for it. I'd fail, guys, if I did. I'm not experienced. But if I was a manager that was really serious about what's best for my career, I'd be avoiding Manchester United because Manchester United is the hardest managerial job in the world. In the world, there is no harder job for a manager than Manchester United because the only person that's had success under the Glazers was Sir Alex, the greatest manager that ever lived. I think Pep Guardiola and Klopp could come to Manchester United and they would very much struggle. Even if given time, I think they'd very much struggle because when you become Manchester United manager, you are almost destined to fail. You're almost set out to fail, unfortunately, because not only do you have to deal with player egos, not only do you have to deal with an awful wage structure which causes player problems, which causes power problems, which makes it harder to buy and sell people, you've got to deal with the Glazers. If you're Manchester United manager, you've got to deal with being undermined, not being backed, and just thrown out to dry. And that is why United is the hardest managerial job, because the Glazers might get Ten Hag and think that's my job done. The fans are happy. I'm not going to give Ten Hag who he wants. I'm not going to let him sell Maguire if he doesn't want Maguire. You are destined to fail if you become Manchester United manager. And I think any manager that joins Manchester United, and if they become successful under the way that the club is run, under the way the board works, they deserve a fucking medal. They absolutely deserve a medal. They deserve a gold star, because I just think the way we run, the way we work, every manager that comes to Manchester United is destined to fail. Alexander says Elanga and Managerial is all the magic we need. They used to play together and bring some young players and build a team and get a trophy in 2 to 3 years. I think we need to focus on young players. I do agree to an extent with that comment. I think, I generally think we need to turn our focus on young players. I think if the first teamers are underperforming, we can turn our focus onto young players. And one thing that really, really annoys me, and I don't know if you guys feel the same about this, but this really, really bugs me. And this is the fact, that we have 2 goalkeepers on our bench. In the Champions League, we could have just called up Garnacho. We could have just called up McNeil. What can Garnacho and McNeil do that Dean Henderson can't? Honestly, because we've got Heaton on the bench, we've got Dean Henderson on the bench. I believe that we should have put Managerial or Charlie McNeil, Shulatieri, one of our young attackers on the bench versus Atletico Madrid. If you agree with me, smash a like, because I'm fed up with United putting 2 goalkeepers on the bench when you've got Charlie McNeil, you've got Garnacho, you've got Shulatieri, you've got Hannibal Managerial, you've got all these talented youngsters, yet we'll put Tom Heaton on the bench as well as Dean Henderson. At the end of the day, some of our players have been so bad that it would only be fair to start some youngsters. If United want to go and just start Garnacho on the right wing next game, I have no fucking issue with it. Even though he's 17, probably not ready and not played before. With the form of Rashford, I have no problem if we wanted to give Garnacho a start. I have no problem if we wanted to give Managerial a start. I have no problem if we wanted to give McNeil a start. And I want to see them. I'll be seeing Managerial on the bench, but I actually don't want to see 2 goalkeepers on the bench. I want to see McNeil getting on that bench. I want to see Garnacho getting on that bench. And I want to see players being used. I don't want to be seeing the same Harry Maguire week in, week out. I want to be seeing United utilising their squad, but also giving youth a chance, because I want to talk about one youth player. This is United's best youth player, Jimmy Garner. James Garner is out at Nottingham Forest, and James Garner is absolutely tearing up at Nottingham Forest. I won't lie, James Garner is doing a very, very good job at Nottingham Forest. He really is playing well. I was speaking to a Forest fan today, and they were saying James Garner's fucking brilliant. He always likes to get forward. He's a top CDM. He's got a great delivery on corners. I think he's got 4 assists from corners. Nottingham Forest fans absolutely love Jimmy Garner. They say he's absolutely brilliant. And we've got so many brilliant youngsters. We've got Jimmy Garner. We've got Sedan Iqbal. We've got Charlie McNeil. We've got Charlie Savage. We've got Shola Shiratieri. We've got Anthony Elanga. We've got Joe Hugo. We've got Charlie McNeil. We've got Garnacho. We've got so many youngsters, just to name a few. So why can we not give more of them a chance? Now, I give Ragnick Broadett for giving Elanga the chance, but let's give Charlie McNeil a chance. Let's give Garnacho a chance. Let's just give them a run-in, because Ronaldo's form has been so poor that I just think they deserve a running. Rip Manchester United after 2013, says Agner. And yes, rip Manchester United after 2013. We've become crap and all of that. And go Barca and Paris. And I would take James Garner over our CDM. I mean, guys, how do you feel about James Garner? I assume some of you haven't watched James Garner much. I mean, I've watched 2 championship games that he's in, and all the rest have been FA Cup games. I haven't watched James Garner much myself. But what I will say is James Garner looks absolutely fantastic for Manchester United. Someone's coming to say United in the mud, United in the mud. And look, I know we're in the mud. I'm still fuming about that Champions League result. I still haven't recovered on that Champions League result, but you've just got to move on. And you know what? I just hope Liverpool don't win the league, and I just hope City don't win the Champions League. Because this season, I generally was saying this today, this season for Man United couldn't have got any worse. Expectations high, knocked out of every cup competition early, top 4 gone by March. This season has been so horrific for Manchester United. Everything's going wrong. I mean, Arsenal getting top 4 ahead of us is just embarrassing. That it's like written in the stars for Liverpool to win their 20th league title and City to win their first Champions League, and Liverpool go equal with us and City get a Champions League, so we can't call them small. It feels like it's destined to happen because nothing is going United's way, to be fair. Arsenal did lose to Liverpool. Anything can happen, but they could bottle top 4. Do you think there's any chance of Arsenal bottling top 4, guys? I don't. That is Arsenal. Arsenal getting top 4. If Arsenal lose to Villa, maybe we've got a chance because Villa do like to give Arsenal a good game. But I generally believe Arsenal, that is them top 4 nailed on. Does anyone have any belief or confidence we will get top 4 and catch Arsenal? Personally, myself, like, I'd love us to catch Arsenal, but I just don't think we will be able to catch Arsenal. Going back to Gary Neville's comments, he also said that he doesn't blame Rangnick. There's big players at the club, there's big problems at the club, and the owners are not good enough. The owners need to sell the club. Gary Neville got a lot of stick for putting some blame on Rangnick, but Gary Neville has now come out and said, you know what, it's the owners at fault. And well done, Gary, because it is the bloody owners at fault. The owners of this club are an absolute disgrace, aren't they? The owners of Manchester United Football Club really need to sort themselves out. They're an absolute disgrace. And you know what? That is what needs to be changed, the bloody owners. And if you agree with me, make sure you smash a like on the video. Also, guys, if you're watching right now and you are new to Alice Talks Football, please do subscribe down below if you're new. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, update or more. We have been linked to Erik Ten Hag. The Manchester Evening News said that Manchester United are impressed with Erik Ten Hag and how he's assembled 2 successful teams even after the sale of Matthias de Ligt and Frankie de Jong in 2013. Ten Hag's potential for longevity appeals to United as he joined Ajax in 2017. That's come out from the Manchester Evening News. The Manchester Evening News also said that Erik Ten Hag is the preferred option to become Manchester United manager. As it stands, Ten Hag's prime choice is to take over the summer, but the club has not made a final decision when the process happens. But it's come out today that Erik Ten Hag is Manchester United's first choice. Erik Ten Hag is of a third choice. However, is this PR spin to distract us from the loss against Atletico? Is this a PR spin, or is Erik Ten Hag actually our first choice, guys? I don't know what you think down below, because for me, I think we do like Ten Hag, but I feel like we'll get Poch. I feel like we're going to use Ten Hag for PR spin. We're going to use Ten Hag to lift the mood a bit. And once we start getting some wins, we'll probably go and get Poch. I just believe that United will go for Poch. But I would much rather have Ten Hag myself. Of course, let me know who you would have down below. Arsenal will bottle it, but we better be bottling them bigger. Arsenal could bottle top 4, but so could United, and it could go to Spurs for all we know. Look, and I'm going to say one last thing about Erik Ten Hag. United could very, very easily get to Erik Ten Hag. It's not hard for United to get Ten Hag. We just won't. We just won't. But it's good to know Ten Hag is our preferred option at Manchester United. Gary Neville also came to say when it came to Ralf Rangnick that he doesn't blame Ralf Rangnick. There's big players at the club. There's big problems at the club. The owners are not good enough. The owners need to sell the club. I've said that all season. Gary Neville is finally, and I say finally, coming out and talking about the owners. About time, because Gary Neville, when Ollie was here, he just didn't really say anything negative about the club. He was all Ollie in, and Ollie's his mate, and that's fine. You can love Ollie, but right now Ralph's here and not Ollie. All of a sudden, Gary Neville's opening his mouth, and I think fair play, Gary Neville, opening your mouth. But what I find frustrating about it is Gary Neville is opening his mouth now, but he wasn't opening his mouth for a while back, was he? As well, so I just want to say that now. Guys, make sure you smash a like on the video if you have not already. Make sure you subscribe to Alice Talks Football if you're new. But I want to talk about Gareth Southgate, and I want your thoughts on this. But Gareth Southgate's England lineup, guys. What are your thoughts on Sancho not being played? What are your thoughts on the lineup and all of that? Skiller says Roy Keane should have got the interim job. He would have slapped some sense into them. The players need it. And I agree. I absolutely agree. But how do you guys feel about the England squad? Because I'm absolutely fuming about the England squad. Marcus Rashford deservedly dropped. Harry Maguire has not been dropped. Tyrone Mings has still not been dropped. And look, I understand a little bit why Southgate doesn't drop Maguire, because Maguire seems to be England's main centre-back at national competitions. But how has Southgate not dropped Tyrone Mings? Like, how? How? Tyrone Mings is bang average. Tyrone Mings is not good, and Southgate is just not dropping him. I think that's mad. For me, Tomori has been absolutely fantastic in Milan, absolutely fantastic in Italy. Why isn't Tomori being given a chance? You've given Tammy Abrahams a chance. Is it because Tomori's not an attacker? You see, actually have to watch him. You can't go by his goals and assists. Like, what is going on with that? I just think the fact that Tomori didn't get called up and the fact that Sancho didn't get called up, I just think it's absolutely criminal. But I understand why Rashford didn't get called up. I think Rashford's form has just been too bad. And I tweeted this again earlier. I generally believe and generally feel, though, that Manchester United England could call up Rashford before they call up Sancho again. Because England are favourites FC as well. I'm just having a quick swig of water, guys. If you have any comments or questions for me or things you want me to talk about, Make sure you go put it in the chat as well. Make sure you smash a like on the video if you have not already. Make sure you subscribe to Alice Talks Football if you're new. Share the video and bish bash bosh. Ten Hag out, Poch out. We're in the mud for years to come, says Jack, and you are partly right with this. And D. Boofer, I think the fan base is turning into Arsenal, blaming referees on losing. Not the ref's fault. Players got one goal over 2 legs. And look, you are right there, but the ref, look, if it wasn't for that refereeing display, I think it would have gone 0-0, and I think we would have gone to extra time. I don't think Atletico Madrid would have been able to win that game without the refereeing, and I think the referee did not help us as a Manchester United fan, but I generally don't believe Atletico would have won without the ref, if I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, the time wasting. I mean, I'm going to get stat up for you in a minute, and it was just the amount of time that was out of possession was just staggering. I mean, honestly, I looked at it and I thought, that is embarrassing. I generally think that, like, you know, I'm gonna get it on my screen if I can find it. Here it is. You ready? Look what I'm about to show you guys. Just look at what I'm about to show you. You're going to be like, what have I just witnessed? You're going to be like, what? What is this? And this is it. This is the stat. Is that zoomed in enough? I think that'll be fine. Let me get that. I mean, this is why I think the ref's at fault, because for the second half, the ball was just out of play for a total of 25 and 32 seconds. That means more than half of the game was spent out of play, but only 4 minutes was added on. I mean, that is so telling, and the refs let them get away with that. The fact that more of the second half was out of play than in play just shows the amount of time wasting and shithousing Atletico did. And I said this before the game on Tuesday. I said whoever scores first is going to win, because it's going to be about shithousing, cheating, and parking the bus. And Atletico scored first, and I knew as soon as Atletico went 1-0 up, I just said to myself, that is it. Unfortunately, now Atletico 1-0 up, they're going to go and win. Steve says he doesn't know anyone who rates Maguire. Why United and England play him, I don't know. The decision to play him in football is because it's awkward. Look, I understand to an extent Maguire playing for England. Now, I think on current form, Maguire doesn't deserve to be called up. Either does Tyrone Mings. But for England, Maguire plays in a back three. He seems to fit better in a back three. For England, Maguire seems to be England's main centre-back. Maguire has the most experience of England, and maybe they want him for that experience. But I think for Manchester United, Maguire's form has not been good enough. Maguire's form has been nowhere near good enough for Manchester United. And in terms of a United perspective, Harry Maguire massively needs to get dropped. The problem is it will take us a while to drop him as well. Guys, I've got a couple of other stories as well to talk about. We're obviously talking about Sancho or Southgate. And look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was disappointed that Sancho wasn't called up. I think he deserves to be called up. I think Emile Smith-Rowe's not really played for 2 months. Grealish hasn't played particularly well. For me, Jadon Sancho should be in there, set ahead of Emile Smith-Rowe and Grealish. But England, Southgate, it is favouritism's FC, and that's causing a big problem at Manchester United, the constant favouritism. And I tell you this now, and I tweeted this earlier, if Rashford finds form in the next few months, he'll be back at United. Sancho has found form, he doesn't get an England call up. If Marcus Rashford finds form, I guarantee he gets an England call up. I guarantee you Marcus Rashford will get his next England call up before Jadon Sancho, because Marcus Rashford's been dropped, but Marcus Rashford's one of the favourites. And PRFC, Social Media FC, English FC, they love Marcus Rashford. Now, talking of PRFC, talking of Social Media FC, guys, did you know that the Manchester United squad have been given a week off? A week off. And I just want to say, I find it really frustrating that whenever we lose, we seem to reward our players. Yeah, have a week off, have a holiday. And I guess in hindsight, give them a break, give them a holiday to recharge, feel better about themselves. Maybe that's the right thing to do. But whenever things are going bad, whenever we've got a break, instead of training like we used to, we're giving players very soft holidays. We gave Lingard a second holiday because we didn't give him his loan move. And I think decisions like that is what starts to create a sense of self-entitlement at Manchester United. And I love Manchester United, and I love a lot of our players. But I'm really concerned and believe that there is a really negative sense of self-entitlement at Manchester United. And I don't like it. And I'm someone that loves a lot of our players. But I don't like the way that we act as a club. I don't like the way some of our players act. I do not like the way some of our players act out. I do not like the way some of our players behave. And is that because as soon as things start going wrong at Manchester United, we reward them going, yeah, go have a gift, go have a present, go cheer yourself up, go on holiday? Is that the right thing to do? Because for me, if I'm out there and I've played really bad, the last thing I want is a bloody holiday to Dubai. I'm going to be focusing on myself. I'm going to be wanting to improve. I'm going to be trying to get in the England squad. Emmanuel said Maguire may be fit for a back five so he can be protected. And look, we've tried Maguire in a back five and he's been instantly as bad. This is the thing. Harry Maguire is not our best centre back, and I think it's really sad. I didn't find it funny, to be fair. I think it's really sad. But when Harry Maguire got subbed off versus versus Atletico Madrid at Old Trafford yesterday. There were cheers. People were cheering and hooraying that our captain had been sent off. And that, for me, that just shows how low our club has come, because Harry Maguire was right to be subbed off. He was meant to be subbed off. But the pure reason and the pure fact that people were going, yeah, Harry Maguire's dropped. I sat here and I thought, oh my God, like, we sub off Harry Maguire, and that is the highlight of our match. That is the highlight of our Champions League, that Harry Maguire gets subbed off. And this is when I mean the standards of this club has fallen. It's like, yeah, I want Maguire to do bad so I prove to be right. It's like, no, you don't want Maguire to do bad. You want Maguire to play better. But the fact that that came out, it just summed up the state of our club absolutely as well. And they got a week off because Ralph is sick at looking at them, says Silka. And maybe that is the case, to be fair. I don't blame him whatsoever. Ralph Rangnick, and I won't criticise Ralph Rangnick too much. Would I have had a different starting lineup against Atletico? Of course I would. But I actually look at that Atletico match and I go, you know what? United didn't even play too bad. That we actually played all right versus Atletico Madrid. I thought we were very, very unlucky. Refereeing, not taking our chances, Alanga missing some sitters. I think we were a little bit unlucky versus Atletico Madrid, and for me, that's not on Tuchel, that's on the players. And I think a lot of these players at United need to sub themselves out. Someone's saying Sancho out. I don't know what you're on about. Sancho is out of the England squad. I mean, guys, if you agree with me that Tomori and Sancho should be in the England squad, smash a like on the video, because I believe Tomori and Sancho should be in the England squad. Big up Paul, who's just joined in the chat. Maguire's personality is literally lies and acts like he could towards interviews. It says it cares, and the only thing that improved under Ralph is complaining about everything for a foul. And look, you can feel that way. I think there's been improvements under under Harry Maguire. I think there have been improvements. But yeah, it's the thing about United is we can improve, but we also need to improve the facilities. So we can improve the toilets at Manchester United. Well, that doesn't make sense. I've just fallen asleep there. I've just absolutely fallen asleep, guys. I just was about to talk about the toilets. I'd absolutely drifted off. So I hope that last sentence made sense. I don't know what happened. I was talking, and then I've just chatted shit for about a minute. I'm talking, and I've just started daydreaming. I've just chatted shit for a minute. So absolutely ignore what I'm saying there. That didn't make sense. I don't know where I was about to talk about school toilets. I don't know where my head was going on that rant. But yeah. Going back to some comments, because I'm absolutely waffling, aren't I? I'm absolutely chatting shit today. But 300k a week isn't enough for them. Give them 500k a week and they'll show more passion. That's what they probably expect, the players. And AS Show says, Alice, your choice. Poch manager with Van der Sar, sporting director, and Ralph consultants, or Ten Hag with Glazers. I will go for Poch. Look, Ten Hag is my first choice manager. I want Ten Hag and not Pochettino. I do want Ten Hag and not Pochettino. But what I will say is, if it's Ten Hag with the Glazers making decisions, or Pochettino with Ralph Rangnick and the sporting director making decisions, you go with Poch any day of the week, because I'll say it now and I'll say it again. It does not matter who is running Manchester United. It does not matter who is in charge of Manchester United. It does not matter if Wham Matter is still at Manchester United. Excuse the awful pun. If the Glazers are there, and if the Glazers are taking full control of the board, full control of the decisions, full control of everything, Manchester United, unfortunately, won't be where we want it to be for a while. And that is a shame, but it is because the board, the Glazers, are leeching from this club, destroying this club from the inside out. And if you were Glazers out, smash a like on the video. If you agree with me, if you want those vile Glazers out of our club, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not subscribed as well. Our club is run like a toilet, and that is why maybe toilet was coming in my head. Our club is run like a toilet. Very much factual there as well. And Kumaran says, Maguire's personality, it literally lies and acts like a kid towards interviews. I don't think Maguire has that bad of a mentality. I don't think Maguire has that bad of a personality, because I think Maguire gets heckled a lot more than Rashford, and Maguire doesn't react to it. And I don't think I have a problem with Maguire's personality. I just have a problem with Maguire's form and Maguire's latest performances, to be honest, as well. Guys, I've got a couple questions for you in the chat, okay? Got a couple questions for you. I want to see your opinion. Is it Tuchel or Ten Hag? Who would you rather have, Tuchel or Ten Hag? Big question for you as well. And also, is anyone watching the Europa League? Anyone watching the West Ham game tonight as well? Do let me know. That I would watch the game, but I'm absolutely knackered. I'm not going to be honest. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm actually basically falling asleep in my live streams at the moment. I mean, what is going on with you, Alice? You need to wake up. I do need to wake up. So again, I do apologise for that as well. And another question for you. People saying Tuchel over Ten Hag. Bishes says Thomas Tuchel as well. Another question for you is, how do you feel about Rashford as well? A lot of people would say they take Tuchel over Ten Hag. Kumaran says Tuchel for defence, Ten Hag for attacking. I mean, that would be the perfect thing. Get them all in. Tuchel, Ten Hag, Ragnick, Van der Sar, get them all in. That would be absolutely brilliant, wouldn't it? But my other question for you is, with Marcus Rashford, going back to the Marcus Rashford situation, do you agree with me that you still think there's a player in Marcus Rashford? You think that he's not finished. You saw what he did at 22. He just needs to get back to who he was. Or do you think Marcus Rashford is finished and move him on? Like, what is your sort of feeling with Marcus Rashford at the moment as well? Do let me know down below. Darryl says Ten Hag is better. Everton versus Newcastle is on, as Gaz said. And Darryl says Rashford, Pogba, Sancho, Fred Dalot, lazy. I don't agree with all of that. I don't say Sancho strikes me as a lazy player. Look, there are players at United that are lazy, because look at how we're performing. It says it all. But yeah. I've got another question for everybody in the chat. Cristiano Ronaldo is leaving Manchester United. Cristiano Ronaldo will only stay at Manchester United if we manage to get fourth and Arsenal bottle it. The only way Ronaldo stays at Manchester United is if Arsenal go and bottle it. And if I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't think Arsenal are going to bottle it. I want Arsenal to bottle it. I'd love it if Arsenal bottled it, but I don't believe Arsenal are going to go and bottle Champions League. It just means too much for them. The players care too much, but our players don't seem to care. And if we don't get top four, which is very, very likely, Cristiano Ronaldo will 100% leave Manchester United in the summer. And where does that put you? Because some people think that Ronaldo going is a good thing. Some people think Ronaldo is the reason that we've been stumbled in our tracks and the reason that we went bad. I disagree. Ronaldo is not the problem. And some people think that Ronaldo's going to be a massive loss. And I think whether you like Ronaldo or not, whether he's 37 or not, Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be a massive loss in the summer, because we are failing from a crumbling mentality. And Cristiano Ronaldo, he can lift that mentality. He's probably trying his best. Imagine, Cristiano Ronaldo comes in and we win that Spurs game. Without Ronaldo, we don't win that Spurs game. Without Ronaldo, we don't win a lot of games this season. You've got to remember that Ronaldo's won us a lot of games this season. We are going to lose Ronaldo in the summer. And when we lose Ronaldo in the summer, I do worry for Manchester United. I do worry that we're going to be in trouble without Ronaldo. And people will say, oh, we've got Martial back. Look at Martial. Look how good we were before Ronaldo. Yeah, but we're not the team we were before Ronaldo anymore. We've crumbled this season. Rashford's crumbled. Maguire's crumbled. Luke Shaw's no longer the best left back in the world. Pogba's going to go. Matic is going to retire. Ronaldo's going to go. All these main qualities in our squad are going to go in the summer. And we've got this big rebuild to do in the summer. And we've got the Glazers acting out, actually starting to make excuses and starting to hint that Man United maybe won't spend in the summer, which I think is absolutely infuriating, that the Glazers might not even spend much money in the summer. Fuck the Glazers. Let me read out what's been said. Let me read out what's been said, actually, about Manchester United. And this came from, I think, James Ducker of The Telegraph. This is what he said. He said Manchester United staff are struggling to press ahead with summer transfer plans and are concerned about the impact of such delay, with so many key decisions on hold when the club wait to appoint a new manager. This has been said by James Ducker of The Telegraph. Okay? Manchester United are basically saying we cannot go ahead with summer plans because we don't know who the next manager is going to be. This is the problem I have with Manchester United right now. On one hand, we're saying today we've decided Ten Hag's the next manager. That's the decision done. The Manchester Evening News come out today and say Manchester United have decided on Ten Hag. That's the decision done. But also today, James Ducker comes out and said that Manchester United will not press ahead with summer transfer plans as they're concerned about the impact it could have having not decided on a manager. So one story is saying the reason we've not got any summer transfer plans, the reason we're not going to press on any summer transfer plans early is because we haven't decided on a new manager. While another report has said that we decided on Ten Hag to be our next manager. And do you know what that is? That is Manchester United PR Central. That is Manchester United yet again using Ten Hag for PR. We got knocked out by Atletico Madrid. A lot of people are saying Glazers out. A lot of people are getting frustrated with the Glazers. There's a lot of everything. and, you know, all of a sudden Manchester United go, oh, we're going to get Ten Hag. It is PR spin. I generally think we're going to get Poch. Although it's come out today we're getting Ten Hag and Ten Hag's our first choice, and I want Ten Hag and I want us to go for Ten Hag, I still believe, hand on my heart, that Manchester United will unfortunately be going for Mauricio Pochettino. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think we will be going for Mauricio Pochettino. I do. I just think that's what the Glazers want. And, you know, I think Ten Hag is just for PR to please us while it's bad. United are going to wait until we win a few games and they're going to go for Pochettino. And look, I don't think Pochettino's a bad manager. People go, oh, why are you so critical of Pochettino? And it's not that I dislike Pochettino. It's not that I'm critical of Pochettino. But I've always said, if Ten Hag is available, why go for Pochettino? You know what you get from Pochettino, and you know Pochettino's not going to win you the league. If Ten Hag is available, why go for Pochettino? If Ten Hag wasn't available, I'd be fine with Pochettino. But when you've got a manager as good as Ten Hag available, I absolutely can't understand why United still want Pochettino, why United are still hoping for Pochettino. And Daniel says, hi, Alice and everyone. I'm watching West Ham Sevilla. Big up West Ham. I do hope that West Ham care. Elizabeth says she doesn't care who comes in as long as he's a success. And Elizabeth, at the end of the day, I agree with you. I actually couldn't care who comes in as long as they're successful. But that is why I care that it's Ten Hag, because I believe he's more likely to be successful. But you know what, Elizabeth? Fair enough. Fair enough. Barcelona, I think, are going to be through in the Europa League. Do you think Barcelona will win the Europa League, guys? Who do you think is going to win the Europa League? Another question as well. And Leicester are the first English side to reach the quarterfinals of both the Champions League and the UEFA Conference League. Cheeky stat for you. Peter says Ten Hag isn't available. That is where you're wrong, Peter. Ten Hag is available. Ajax have confirmed Ten Hag will leave Ajax at the end of the season and he will be available. Ten Hag is actually the easiest for Manchester United to appoint. Although United like Poch, it's actually much easier for us to get Ten Hag right now, which is why I have an issue with us going for Poch when Ten Hag is available, because he is leaving Ajax at the end of the season because of the situation that's gone on with Mark Overmars. Ajax have chosen their new sporting director and Ten Hag didn't have a say, and Ten Hag normally has a massive say in what goes on, but that's because Ajax are planning for Ten Hag's successor. Ten Hag is leaving Ajax. Funny if Rangers win, that would be quite funny, wouldn't it, as well? And Luke Shaw was never the the best left back at any time. He was good going forward last season, but still couldn't defend. Most overrated player since Jack Wilshere, says D. Bother. I disagree. I think Luke Shaw was absolutely fantastic last season. And I think this season he's been bang average, if I want to be honest with you guys. And Big Dave says we will finish top four. Arsenal bottle it with a few tough games. But saying that every game is a tough game at the minute for us, hard to call, but I think we will. I love the positivity, Big Dave. I really hope that Manchester United go and get top four. And actually, let me look at Arsenal. Shall we? Let's do a little bit of mathematics, guys. Let's do a cheeky bit of maths here. You know, wake myself up. I hope Martial has a good game. I hope Martial has a good game as well. Smash a like if you love Tony Martial. But so Arsenal just lost to Liverpool. Arsenal Villa. Okay, could Arsenal drop points to Villa? Yeah, I think Villa and Palace are going to be very difficult games for Arsenal. I think they'll get 4 points out of Villa and Palace. I think they'll drop points to one of Villa and Palace. I think they will beat Brighton. I think they will beat Southampton. So we're looking at 10 points so far for Arsenal. Okay, Chelsea, I think that's a draw. That's 11 points. Man United, I think we're going to win that game. I think that is 11 points. West Ham, I think that's a draw. That's 12 points. Leeds will obviously be a win. That's 15 points for Arsenal. Newcastle will be, I'd say, a win. That's 18 points for Arsenal. Everton will be a win. That's 21 points for Arsenal. I think Arsenal are going to pick up 21 more points, which takes them finishing the season on 72 points, okay? That takes Arsenal finishing the season on 72 points. I think Manchester United will get 3 points versus Leicester, 3 points versus Everton, and 3 points versus Norwich City, because we should, and that's 9 points. I think we'll get 0 points versus Liverpool. I think we'll get 3 points versus Arsenal, which is 12 points. I think we'll get 3 points versus Brentford, which is 15 points. I think we'll get a point versus Brighton, which is 16 points. A point versus Chelsea, which is 17 points. And 3 points versus Crystal Palace, which is 20 points. That puts Manchester United on 70 points and Arsenal on 72 points. So in my prediction, I still think Arsenal will get top four, but I think we have easier games coming up than Arsenal. So I think it's definitely possible that Manchester United could go ahead and potentially catch Arsenal. And I do hope we go ahead and catch Arsenal, if I'm going to be honest with you, because I want to be in the Europa League next season. I absolutely hate the Europa League. The last thing I want to do is be in the Europa League. I'd rather be in the Europa League than the Conference League. Do not get me wrong. the only thing I say about the only thing good about Europa League is, and the only positive thing I will say about the Europa League is, at least Man United have a chance in winning it. You know, that is like my only positive about the Europa League. When people talk about United being in the Europa League, I go, well, look, at least it's a competition. We might go and win if we're in the Europa League. But other than that, I generally don't have any single positives to say about the Europa League, other than we have more chance of winning it. But that means Paul Pogba's gone. That means Ronaldo's gone, and look, you know, people say Cristiano Ronaldo's the problem. I tell you what, well, there'll be a big problem at Man United if we lose Cristiano Ronaldo, because I think people will realise how impactful Cristiano Ronaldo's been only once he's left. I think Cristiano Ronaldo will be an example of, you don't realise how much you miss me till I'm gone at Manchester United. I generally believe that he will be. I really, really do. Guys, please do keep smashing a like on the video if you have not already. And of course, subscribe to Alice Talks Football if you're new. If you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, updates, and more, make sure you are subscribed. I will be live tomorrow night with some more Manchester United news. And I will be doing a lot more live streams throughout the week. I know we've got 3 weeks without football. So in terms of like live stream content and everything, there's not an awful lot to talk about right now at Manchester United, if I'm going to be honest with you. There's not loads to talk about, but I will be going live every other evening on the channel for the next few weeks. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're not subscribed, to stay up to date with that. I've got a couple more things to talk about, and I want to talk about the potential Manchester United rebuild. I want to talk about us going through a rebuild. How can we do a rebuild? How can we deal with a rebuild? Bish, bash, bosh. So we're going to go on to Chosen 11, and we're going to do this together, guys. Fucking load. Maybe we're not. We're going to have to go onto another site because that one doesn't want to load. I don't know if you can see that on your screen. Oh, no, now it loads. So we're going on to Chosen 11 here. And we're going to go and think about Manchester United's Ten Hag 11. We're going to imagine that we're getting Ten Hag. We're going to be delusional. We're going to think, you know what? Let's imagine Manchester United get Erik Ten Hag. Okay, so how does Ten Hag play? Now, I'm not going to lie. I've only watched Ajax in the Champions League. I'm not an Ajax expert. But I'm going to look at Ajax's more recent matches. For example, maybe we'll go Ajax 2, Benfica 2. How did Ajax line up in their 2-2 draw versus Benfica? Ajax played a 4-2-3-1, but more of a 4-3-3. With Haller up front, Tadic and Antony out wide, Blind, Martinez, J. Timber, Mazzari as their fullbacks. Not that you care about who played for Ajax or not, let's be honest, I'll stop blubbering. But this is how Ten Hag sort of deals with Ajax. Okay, a 4-3-3. Okay, what we're going to think about the Ten Hag rebuild. Okay, who do we need to buy? Who do we need to sell? Let me know in the chat. Now, look, people will say De Gea needs to go, but right now we're thinking of a short-term plan. I have no issue with De Gea. He's been our best player this season. I'm happy with him being our goalkeeper next season. A lot of people say replace the goalkeeper, and maybe long-term to suit Ten Hag's philosophy, De Gea won't suit that. So long-term, in a couple of seasons, replace the goalkeeper. For me, I think when we've got 99 problems, you know, and De Gea is not one of them right now. You know, he is one, but he's a small problem. He's not a big problem. We've got 99 big problems. De Gea's a small problem. I know there's a right-back situation. Got questions at Manchester United, but I've been really impressed with Delo. I've been really impressed with Varane, and I've been really impressed with Sancho. Okay? So we're thinking of like how are Man United going to look next season? How are Man United going to line up next season? Okay. First of all, Donny will come back from loan, and if it's Ten Hag, we'll see Donny play. That's good. If it's Ten Hag, we will see Donny play when he comes back on loan. Okay. So I'm thinking right now, these are the players I can see being involved under Ten Hag. Ronaldo goes, and there's questions of us needing a right winger. So we're going to go with Antony from Ajax for the sake of it being Ten Hag, and I've definitely not said his name right. I'm trying to do a realistic rebuild, okay? And I'm going to assume Martial comes back from loan. We're losing Ronaldo. We're losing Cavani. I doubt Greenwood's coming back. For the sake of this, Sancho, Martial, and Antony will be our front three, okay? Because Rashford on current form doesn't deserve to play. Now, Bruno will probably be our CDM, and I think Bruno's a good player, and Erik Ten Hag will just adapt his play style. This is where there's an X, because we know we're signing a CDM. I think you've got Luke Shaw for now, and hopefully I would say Bailly under Ten Hag. I think Bailly actually suits the Ten Hag profile. So for me, this is how I see Man United potentially looking next season under Ten Hag, if I'm being honest. And that midfielder, really, I'm going to go with Tchouaméni just because we've been linked to him today and I really want him. Not that I believe we get Tchouaméni, but that could be a start of a rebuild. Antony and Tchouaméni coming in, another box-to-box in, another striker in, maybe looking at fullbacks, looking at centre-backs. But for me, in terms of a Manchester United rebuild, I mean, that's what I'd be looking to do, guys. I don't know what you guys would be the person looking to do, but I'm just trying to imagine if I was rebuilding Manchester United. Anthony Martial taking two places. No, but that's Anthony is in the Ajax right winger, not actually Martial. But I can see why you think that. United might try Wan-Bissaka as a centre back. I don't think Wan-Bissaka has the positional sense or strength to be a centre back. I think maybe Wan-Bissaka CDM I'd try, but not centre back as well. You say you put Tellers as left back. I mean, guys, who do you prefer, Tellers or Luke Shaw? Who do you prefer, Tellers or Luke Shaw? Because there's a lot of debate on who's better, Tellers or Luke Shaw. And to be honest, I'm all for Luke. Martial is playing for right now, isn't he? And why would Rashford want to come? Why wouldn't Rashford want to come to the best team in the world? What's this? Liverpool? Rashford was linked to Liverpool, to be fair. But would Liverpool want Rashford? I don't think Rashford is the type of player. Look, I think the whole Rashford leaving Manchester United is to get him a new contract, if I'm going to be honest. But before I end the live stream, I do want to bring up one or two things. It's come out from Laurie Whitwell, and now Laurie Whitwell is a very, very reliable journalist. Laurie Whitwell is like a tier 1 journalist, saying that Manchester United are monitoring Chelsea's situation for Thomas Tuchel. He has given indications he will stay under a new owner, but there is no guarantee that the pictures settle down, and some sources believe he would be opening to hearing United's pitch. Apparently, according to Laurie Whitwell, that United like Thomas Tuchel and they think he could be open to hearing our pitch. And now Laurie Whitwell is a very reliable journalist, but it could be a PR spin. And Samuel Luckhurst, another decent journalist, but again, could be a PR spin, has said that Barcelona haven't expressed an interest in signing Marcus Rashford. A source close to Rashford says the phone hasn't stopped ringing since it emerged he was considering his future at Manchester United, which I think is a very interesting comment. But if I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I think the fact that Rashford's phone's ringing from Barcelona maybe doesn't surprise me, actually. People are saying, is Rashford making up that teams are going for him to get a new contract because he's been playing bad to make Man United start him more? And I think no. I think if you look at how good Marcus Rashford was 2 years ago, if you look at the future and potential Marcus Rashford has, I do understand why teams would be interested in Rashford and actually calling him up. There's a lot of people would disagree with me on that, but it is what it is. People saying they prefer Luke Shaw to Tellers. Most people prefer Luke Shaw to Tellers, but it is a bit of a debate at the moment because Luke Shaw's been poor. I mean, Tchouaméni, someone says buy his CDM. I wouldn't try buy his CDM. I think he's too rash, but it could be interesting to try out, to be fair. And Rangnick brought a mental guy to United, but the players seem more depressed. Who did Rangnick bring that was mental to Man United? Who did Rangnick bring that was mental to Man United? Am I missing out on the joke there? Said as well. And Luke Shaw is the best player, says Johnny K. Luke Shaw, I think, is our best left back. Whether you like Tellers or not, I think Tellers and Maguire were at fault for that Atletico goal. I do. I watch it back and I go, you know what? That isn't on Delo. The more I watch that Atletico goal back, I don't blame Delo. I think that's on Tellers and Maguire. And I hate blaming Maguire because I don't want people to think I blame Maguire for everything. But it is on him. What's my honest opinion on Paul Pogba? Look, a story came out about Paul Pogba today saying he's focused on Man United for the next 2 months and he's considering his future. I like Paul Pogba, but he's too inconsistent. He hasn't been good enough, and I'm fed up with Paul Pogba might stay. I'm fed up with Paul Pogba's going to go. He's going to stay. He's going to go. Just get rid. Honestly, we're going to lose him on a free, and let's just move forward as a club. Because you know what? Sometimes you need to get rid of the big players. I generally, you know what? I get rid of Harry Maguire. I get rid of Wan-Bissaka. I get rid of Paul Pogba. I'd let Dean Henderson go out on loan because I think he could be useful in a couple of years if he proves to be good enough. I'll get rid of them. I'll get rid of Mata and Matic just because they're old. I'd get rid of a lot of players, to be fair, at this club. And I'll be looking to get a quick centre-back in. I'll be looking to get a CDM in. I'll be looking to get a Pogba replacement in. I'll be looking to get a right wing in. And I'll be looking to get a striker in. I'll be looking to sign 5 players. I'll be looking at Darwin Núñez. I'll be looking at Antony. I'll be looking at Tchouaméni. I'll be looking at Rudiger if he's available on a free. I'd be looking at maybe Frankie de Jong that could be available if Ten Hag wants him. Now, I'm not saying that those players are going to come to Manchester United. I'm not saying it's possible to sign those 5 players, but that's what I'd be doing personally myself as well. Daryl says Europa League Varane. I mean, look, only Man United. I have to say this is dreadful. I have to say this is fucking dreadful. Only Manchester United. Cristiano Ronaldo, for the first time in 16 years of his career, is going to go trophyless. Only Manchester United can do that to him. And 4 times Champions League winner Rafael Varane is going to probably be playing in the Europa League next season, and only Manchester United can do that to him. And what is it about Manchester United and trying to ruin players? What is it about us and trying to ruin players? Infuriates me as well. And surely Maguire should go. I think Maguire should go. Smash your like if you think Maguire should go as well. What about Greenwood? I don't think he should come back. If he's found not guilty, that's a discussion we can have in the future. But I saw what I saw, and I think it was horrible. But obviously, it's allegations. Look, Greenwood's going to go through a court case. He's going to be found guilty or not guilty. If he's found not guilty, he might come back, and that's a whole situation. But look, Greenwood's probably not coming back. If I was going to put a prediction, I don't think Greenwood will come back. I think Cavani's gone, and I think Ronaldo's gone, and I think Martial will have to stay next season because he'll be our only striker, and we've got to rely on getting Antony or Nunes in. Will Ronaldo leave after this season? Yeah, Ronaldo's leaving this season unless Arsenal bottle top 4. Steve says Greenwood should never play for Manchester United again, and I kind of feel that way. I think unless he's found not guilty, there was a massive misunderstanding, and Harriet the girl's okay, and Harriet the girl's okay with him playing for us again, and we get a full explanation and everything. I don't think he should play again. He still hasn't apologised, and will he apologise? That's the thing. I think he's waiting for his court case. He's very quiet, and I think that's all he can do. I mean, if I was in Greenwood's situation, and the evidence, the thing is with Greenwood's situation, it's all accusations, and he's arrested, but he's been released on bail because there's not enough evidence to prosecute. The problem is the only evidence in the Greenwood case is just out there for us all to see. All the evidence in the Greenwood case is just out there for us to see, which means that the public can make their mind up about Greenwood. If Greenwood had been arrested on suspicion of rape, but we didn't see any of those videos, we wouldn't be feeling like we feel now. This is the thing. If Greenwood was arrested on suspicion of rape, we didn't see those videos, he's found not guilty, we'd all be saying, oh my God, silly girl, accusing him, found not guilty, protecting him. But because those videos have been leaked, if he is found not guilty, I don't know if he'll come back or not, if I'm being honest with you. Only way to move on is bin off most of these players. Even some I've had their time at this club and it's not worked out. I agree with you. Play McNeil, Garnacho and Mejbri. Look, I actually agree with that. I would. And Sancho and Rashford drop for England. I mean, look, I understand why Rashford's dropped, but for me, dropping Sancho is absolutely criminal. I don't know about you. I just think dropping Sancho is absolutely the wrong decision. Grealish on current form doesn't deserve to be called up. Smith Rowe has barely even played. I mean, Tyrone Mings and Harry Maguire in there over Tomori. Sancho and Tomori absolutely robbed, in my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel it, but I feel they were absolutely robbed as well. But guys, I've been live for just over an hour, so I am going to go and wrap up the live stream here. It was a bit of a quieter live stream today. We didn't get many of the usual people in, and that's probably because I haven't done live streams for a while, so now people are preferring videos. Now, honestly, guys, do you prefer videos, do you prefer live streams, or do you like that I do a 50-50 mix between live streams and videos? Just quickly reply to that in the chat. 50-50 live streams or videos. What do you prefer? It might be a bit biased towards live streams because you are watching a live stream as well. Smith had COVID and fitness issues. That is a good point, Tabitha. And Arsenal been surprised this year. Man, you want to be next season, but it must not be easy. It's not going to be easy next season, Steve. I absolutely agree. But we are going to wrap up today's live show. I might be live tomorrow night. If I'm not live tomorrow night, I'll definitely be live Saturday. If there is news tomorrow, I will be live tomorrow, but only if there is news. If not, I will be live again on Saturday. Some people say they like pre-recorded live videos. Some people say they like live videos. Make a Twitch show and do FM. What's FM? What's FM? I'm not sure what FM is. And Rashford equals centre forward, says Emmanuel. No, Rashford's not a centre forward for me. But I think I'm going to continue with 50-50 mix of live shows and videos, because I think the thing I like about videos is I can get straight to the point and it's a shorter video, and when there's not loads to talk about, it's easier to do a video. But the thing I like about live shows is I can interact with you guys, I can talk to you guys, and I quite like doing a mix of both. But I go through periods with my live. I think in the summer I'm going to do live shows. When the transfer window's open, every day at 7 p.m. there's going to be a live show on transfers. Every day, apart from maybe 1 or 2 days when it's dead. 7 p.m. when the transfer window opens, there will be live shows as well. And people say 50-50 is best. Steve says he likes live shows and videos. I think most people means that. And FM means fat mouse. What fat mouse? Make a Twitch and do fat mouse. What? I don't know what fat moose is. Fast moose. Oh no, fast moose. Fast moose. I don't know what that is, mate. As well, but live shows and videos, mix of live shows and videos works. Okay, guys, I am going to wrap up today's live stream because I am hungry. I need to eat. I'm going to watch a bit of the football as well. I've missed the first 20 minutes and all of that. Oh, Football Manager. I've been trolled. FM means Football Manager. That makes sense. I didn't know what you meant by Fast mouse. I think I just got trolled there, didn't I? Smash a like, smash a subscribe. Live tomorrow or Saturday. See you then. Bish bash bosh.